In life, every decision leads to a different destination. He was a man who'd seen both sides of fame, the quiet nights of loneliness, and the deafening roar of applause. To the world, Keanu Reeves was unshakable, humble, kind, almost untouchable. But beneath the calm, there was a story he rarely spoke about, a story of guilt, loyalty, and redemption. It began one Thursday morning in Los Angeles, sunlight bleeding through half-drawn blinds. Keanu was sipping his coffee when the phone rang. On the other end was Michael Hayes, an old friend, a name that once meant family in the early days of struggle. Two actors who once shared one dream, one couch, one hope for something greater. That morning, Michael's voice trembled. "Keanu, you got the part, didn't you?" Keanu hesitated. "What part?" "The Eclipse Protocol movie," Michael said quietly. "The one I auditioned for. The one you weren't even up for." The truth hit him like cold glass. His agent had called days earlier, a last-minute studio decision. They wanted someone more seasoned, more bankable. And Keanu said yes. He hadn't known Michael was still in the running, but to Michael, it felt like betrayal. Days passed. Keanu tried calling. No answer. Then came a text that would haunt him for years. "You took everything from me." He stared at the screen, frozen. How do you reply to something like that? Sometimes silence is the only response left. Months later, he saw Michael again at a small, dim bar off Sunset Boulevard. The place smelled like old whiskey and disappointment. Michael sat alone, eyes glassy under the neon glow. When Keanu approached, his old friend barely looked up. "Hollywood's golden soul himself," Michael said, voice rough. "You celebrating?" Keanu shook his head. "No, just trying to talk." "Talk's cheap," Michael replied. "You taught me that." There was no shouting, just the kind of silence that hurts worse than words. Keanu left the bar that night, feeling like the applause in his life had gone hollow. Weeks later, news broke. Michael was hospitalized. Depression, exhaustion. He'd fallen hard and deeper than anyone realized. Keanu blamed himself, because deep down, he knew that fame had a price, and maybe this was his bill come due. He went to the hospital one evening. When he finally found Michael, the man wouldn't even look at him. "You finally found time between red carpets?" The words were bitter, but honest. Keanu sat beside him. "I messed up," he said softly. "I can't change what happened, but I'll make it right." No answer came, just a quiet ticking clock and a room too heavy for air. Days later, Keanu made a call. He told his agent to give Michael his next film role. No questions, no headlines. When the studio pushed back, he didn't argue. He just said, "It's not about my brand. It's about my balance." He signed over one of his cars, then his Silver Lake house. He said nothing to the press, no interviews, no sympathy parade. Just quiet reparations for a friendship broken by ambition. And for months, there was silence. Until one evening, his phone buzzed again. A text from Michael. "Thank you. I'm not there yet, but I'm trying." For Keanu, that was enough. A year later, Keanu watched from behind the camera as Michael stepped back onto a film set. He looked older now, steadier, different. When their eyes met, there was no anger, only fatigue that comes from healing. Michael walked over slowly. "Guess we both took the long road, huh?" Keanu smiled faintly. "Yeah, but at least we got here." Michael nodded. "You didn't have to do all that." Keanu shook his head. "Maybe not, but I needed to." For the first time in years, they hugged. No cameras, no scripts. Just two men standing in the wreckage of their choices, learning how to forgive. Years later, Michael rebuilt his career. He directed, he taught, he laughed again. And though he never sent another message, Keanu still mailed a Christmas card every year. Because some apologies don't need replies, and some friendships don't need fixing, just time. In the end, the world would never know the full story. To everyone else, it was just another movie, another hit. But for Keanu Reeves, it was a reminder that every choice carries a cost. Every decision leads somewhere. And sometimes, that somewhere is just a mirror, a reflection of what could have been. If you've ever hurt someone chasing your dreams, then this story is for you. Because the real measure of a man is not in his success, is not in his achievement, but in what he's willing to give back.